Okay, Patty, for some reason, I think we've got internet and other issues today because I was having trouble getting the college project one up, even though I just had it up, but I'm trying again. So
Okay.
let's see if that works. Does that work?
Yep, I see it.
You see it? Okay. All right.
There we go. All righty.
Good deal. All right. Well, welcome everyone. I am going to Patty give our official start. So Patty, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for coming today. This is like our first summer meeting and we're really getting started with all the projects and everything that's going on in PTK. And we are glad that you're here. And I just ask for those of you who are with us to please, when we post the recording to this in PTK Edge under PTK Program Resources section, that you share the link to watch this recording with your fellow chapter members and officers, so that they can hear, also get updated on some of the things that we're going to talk about today. It's kind of a full agenda today. We're going to talk about the new 5-star plan. We're also going to talk about college project and also CCSmart and how to turn CCSmart into choosing CCSmart as part of your college project. So next slide, Jennifer, I think you have.
Yeah.
Next slide. Thank you. So today we even have we have an update on this. Our student engagement team presenter, Jennifer Stanford, is with us today. She's our Associate Vice President of Program Implementation, and her contact information is listed there. Reagan Chastain is our curriculum designer and has fallen to internet problems this weekend today, so won't be able to join us, but her contact is there information as well. You have mine on the first slide, and Aslana Quesada, our student engagement program coordinator, is with us today. So thanks. I thank the team a whole lot for coming out, and know that we are all here as part of your resources in everything that you do with your chapter as it relates to engagement. So we hope that if you have any questions, please utilize the chat box. We will continue to monitor it throughout. If we have to stop and answer a question, we will. We will also save time to make sure that we've answered all of your questions. This is the time to answer your questions, right? No, please, just send them out there. You never know. You could be helping someone else that might not be with us today that has the same question. So whatever questions you may have through the process, please share them. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jennifer.
All right. Thank you, Patty. Well, we're going to just hope again that internet and everything else stays working. Sadly, Reagan was not able to join us, but we're going to proceed. And I know that Patty and I are going to share a little bit more about CCSmart. But we want to first start with getting you to put your information in the chat box. And we're going to do that by you telling us if you're an advisor or a member. And if you're a chapter officer, you can certainly say that. And you don't have to list your chapter name necessarily, but if you'll put your college name, that would be awesome. It's always great to see who is joining us for these webinars. So I'll give you a second to do that. I see some of our current international officers joining us as well. So glad to see them. We know it's the summer, and so we are so grateful that you've devoted some time on a Wednesday afternoon when you could be out doing some summer fun to learning more about PTK. And one other thing that we know with these webinars, we do them periodically because there's always new advisors and new members and officers coming into Phi Theta Kappa. So we try to give a very big overview. We're going to, be specific on several things, but know that we're always welcome to answer questions one-on-one, as well as, hopefully getting some of your questions answered during this webinar. It is in a meeting format, so you can use the chat. That's the best format. Later, if we have a moment, we may be able to take audience questions where you can unmute your mic. But going on that same vein, before we dive in, tell us if you prefer roller coasters or a water park for your summer fun. So I'll give you that. You can list both or neither if you're if it's not your cup of tea either way.
I'm seeing a lot of roller coasters.
Me too.
Yeah. Neither.
Neither. Yeah. A good book on a beach. That's more my speed. All right, that's great. And then the final one is this or that, plans or surprises. If you like to be totally surprised, or if you do not like, you're very much a planner and you want to know things are set in stone, and so don't surprise you. So let us know that. Can go either way. Yes, plans. Oh, wow. Okay, Jessica. There are certain times that you want to be surprised, but for the most part, I enjoy being fully planned out as well. Okay. All right. So thanks for having a little fun with us this afternoon on that. It does serve a purpose just to help get everyone talking to each other. And hopefully that makes you more likely to feel comfortable submitting a question on the chat, because that really is what these webinars are about. It's about creating that community. We want you to know who headquarters staff are because we are resources for you. Of course, you have regional coordinators and regional officers in you're part of one of 28 regions of Phi Theta Kappa. And so it's really important that you know that you're not doing this by yourselves. And so someone asked if the webinar is being recorded, and it absolutely is. And we will be posting that and then sharing an email. Patty, I think you still send an email with the recording as well, right?
We will see if we can add it to the next the link in an email to the next divisional email that'll go out to advisors in August. But it will be, if you're on Facebook with the advisor group, we will post it there, also with the regional coordinators. And also you can find me on Facebook, and I will also post it there as well. So we will get it out, but again, we will be putting it, and I'll put the link in later. We will be putting it in the PTK Edge program on.
Yes, I think I just put, so it will be on the website for sure.
Yeah,
getanedge.ptk.org. And everyone has access to that. You just have to use your PTK username and password to find it. All right, so we're going to jump in. Some of you may know that we have made some tweaks to the 5-star chapter plan for this calendar year. There's no reason to be, fretting about it, because if you have been a 5-star chapter in the past, you're basically doing the same things that you did last year. We have streamlined it, and to make it even easier to remove things like reporting and setting goals that you had to go online to do. But we want you to know, if you're brand new to Phi Theta Kappa, that the 5-star chapter plan really is a roadmap for getting engaged in Phi Theta Kappa. It has both individual and chapter engagement at its heart. And so if you see the different stars, there are 5 stars. One of the new items is that you do not have to go in a particular order, so they're not linear anymore. You choose which stars you want to complete and in what order. So we really, we've made it easier. This is, as I said, much more streamlined. There's only 10 steps that you have to do in order to reach all 5 stars. Part of that has been a hallmark of the 5-star plan in the past, and is continuing to be that way, is that chapters that are wanting to be at that highest level of engagement in PTK, that 5-star level, or 5 stars, is the fact that you'll do 2 primary projects. And that is college project, and that's part of the lead star, what formerly was known as 4-star level, but it's now called the lead star. And you submit a college project entry. That to us is the final step of doing a college project. We don't want you to see that as something separate. If your chapter does a college project, the only way Phi Theta Kappa headquarters knows that you've done a college project is to submit it as a Hallmark Award entry. And we know that there are sometimes chapters that feel like they didn't finish or it wasn't exactly what they hoped it would be. And so they're reluctant to submit an award entry. Well, we want you to know that we see the value of submitting what you did accomplish. And even if it wasn't completely finished, it's a great reflection exercise. You may be surprised when you start writing it up to know that you did more than you thought. And that certainly helps build a legacy for the next group of officers that come in. They can finish the project, or they at least have a record of what the chapter has done. And we're going to talk about why that's important also on the college side, because the college project has a specific purpose, not just as another project that you do on campus, but really about building that relationship between the chapter and the college administration. And so this is a great thing for you to share and to be prepared to share as the final step of your college project. And then you'll also, of course, no project gets done without some hardworking individuals, and there's that opportunity for you to present or to submit Hallmark Award entry for many of our individual categories. You only have to submit one, but there are advisor, officer, and member categories that we'd love for you to participate in. And we have other resources. We do things like these webinars, but we also have other online sources that are available to you on demand. And that one of them is the activity guide for chapter leaders. You see the web address here. And this was designed with the intent that we know that there are chapters out there that maybe they haven't been active in PTK programming, and maybe the advisor is very new and they may not have all of the, the ins and outs and the nuts and bolts of not just what to do, but how to do it. And so this program guide, or this activity guide, really is about giving you some of those soft skills, email templates, meeting templates, ideas and best practices that other chapter leaders have used to get involved in Phi Theta Kappa. And so you'll find all of that on our website. And then we have to absolutely give credit where credit is due, because our chapter advisors are the heart of Phi Theta Kappa. And it is one thing for us to say that, some of the students out there may be like, oh yeah, that's really great. Thanks for recognizing our advisors. But this is not hyperbole. This is not just a point of praise for our advisors. Phi Theta Kappa chapters would not be able to induct new members. They certainly would not be able to get engaged in all the benefits and programs that Phi Theta Kappa offers if it was not for a local chapter advisor that's been appointed by the college administration, connecting those students with Phi Theta Kappa. And so it really is something that we treasure. We want to be a resource for advisors and students alike. But students, if you're listening to this, please know that your advisor many times is a volunteer. And so they're doing this above and beyond what their normal job responsibilities are. And whether they're a staff, faculty, or administrator, they give so much of their time and effort to Phi Theta Kappa to make our mission possible. And so we want you to know that there is, kind of that idea that Phi Theta Kappa is a student organization. And a better definition of Phi Theta Kappa is that we are a student development organization. And so we can't do that without that local chapter advisor, again, helping mentor, encourage, point out, explain what Phi Theta Kappa is. They truly are the continuity of the chapter on the local campuses. So they don't, they're not supposed to tell you exactly what your project is going to be. They're not writing up the Hallmark Award entry for college project, but they certainly have a role. And, these are just some of the things that an advisor does. And some of these, it's a 12-month out of the year position for many of our chapter advisors. So we just want to say thank you. And again, know that we're here to support you.
Jennifer,
So,
we have We have
Oh,
one
yes,
question
yes, okay,
from Drew. He's asking,
okay.
due to the pandemic, they've noticed applying for upcoming officers were lacking. So they were thinking to rebuild the chapter so we can thrive for the future. Can this be a project?
Well, Drew, that is a very good question, and certainly one that other chapters are facing a very similar situation, right? We know that engagement overall, not just in Phi Theta Kappa, but overall on college campuses, has declined due to the pandemic, and many of them are rebuilding. If it would be a college project, that depends on your college administration. And so it's actually perfect timing for us to talk about exactly what is a college project. If you think of the project not just as a service that you're providing to the college, that's not really what the purpose is. The overarching goal of a college project is to strengthen the relationship between the chapter and the college administration. The chapter exists on a college campus at the pleasure of the college administration. And we know chapters really can thrive if they are given strong administrative support. And so this project is not necessarily about Phi Theta Kappa programs or the chapter itself, although it can be, certainly something that builds up the chapter, but it really is focused on the college's mission and what their priorities are. And at the heart of it is a conversation that the chapter leaders have with the college administration, ideally with the college president. And we know that Phi Theta Kappa chapters are not just a student club on campus, but that they can lift the entire student body with their existence, with their programming, with the opportunities that they provide. And so it is certainly a case where you could go into the college president's office and be prepared to talk about why the Phi Theta Kappa chapter being active is so important to the college's mission. You want it to be something that is jointly decided. It's not just, the chapter saying what the college project is. It really is about the administrator having that opportunity to share what is on their priority list. But it certainly is appropriate that one of the best things about a college campus, and especially for helping students not only persist in their college education, but thrive, make good grades, all of that. And so Phi Theta Kappa, could be the focus of your college project if the administration wants to go that route. So again, it's a joint decision, and you want to, make sure that it's something that is done jointly with the college. So it wouldn't just be one-time conversation with the president. You would then, whatever the goals of the college project are, you would work with others on campus to fulfill it. And so I know that was a roundabout way of answering your question, but I hope that I did to some degree. Please feel free to put a follow-up there if it still needs clarification. All right, so we're going to quickly just walk through very quickly what the steps are to a college project, because we think this really helps you understand what all is involved. The college project, as I said, is related specifically to what the college's mission and priorities are. We used to just say, look at your college's mission statement before you go in, but we've added and priorities because that's a key point. Sometimes you look at a mission statement and it's very broad, and it may be hard to see exactly how Phi Theta Kappa chapter could work towards, helping fulfill the mission. But the priorities may be labeled as a strategic plan or, possibly listed under college goals. But this is generally on your college website. And if you go in, take a look at that first and foremost and brainstorm ideas. You want to be prepared for the conversation because you want it to be just that, a conversation. And if you go into the college president's office and they say, well, that's great. We're so happy to hear that you're, willing to help us. What are your ideas? You want to be able to have some ideas to share. And so that really helps prove that you're taking this seriously and you really do care about what the college's priorities are. So you meet with the president, you jointly discuss, it can be a back and forth conversation. Sometimes it's going to be just one or two chapter officers with or without the advisor. That all is protocol on your campus. So it does vary campus by campus. Your advisor can help you navigate what is, the accepted protocol on your campus. But the most important thing is to come out of that meeting with, if not some clear goals, at least with a plan to, meet with others on staff. Maybe the college president is asking you to work with, say, the facilities or the maintenance crew, or student life, whatever the project's goals are. There's probably going to be a particular department or departments that you're going to work closely with. And so you want to, follow up with that department, with those contacts, and then work out some short-term, possibly long-term, but primarily short-term goals so that it's very clear what the project's outcomes are being sought. You want to know when you've crossed the finish line. And so you want to have a clear understanding of that, and then follow back up with the college president. That part cannot be overstated, that you want to keep that line of communication open. Again, this is about building or strengthening the relationship between the chapter and the college. And so it really is critical for you, to go back and, whether that's email or a meeting, chances are it's probably going to be, an email that happens. But that's another thing to discuss during that initial meeting, is how that communication should go moving forward. Do they prefer email? Are they going to get updated through others on campus? And then tracking your progress. You want to plan ahead for that. That's part of this, the develop part, where you really are able to have some mechanisms in place so that you're gaining both measurable and immeasurable things, those tangible benefits, outcomes that come about through observations, through individuals' experiences. It can be anecdotal. A lot of times you'll have a personal story to share that can be seen as qualitative impact, but you have to plan ahead for that. Otherwise, you'll get to the end of the project and you won't have that kind of data to put in your college project entry. Throughout this process, you want as many people taking notes as possible. It's great if later on, when you are ready to start writing your entry, if you're going to be able to kind of share and compare notes with others, not only in the chapter, but other collaborators as well. That'll help get you that rich detail that you need, those specific details, so that you're showing your work, if you will, instead of just telling what was done. Okay, so any questions before I see? I know Azlana and Patty are probably checking it more, so you guys just don't hesitate to interrupt me if I need to stop. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is just a quick example. We want you to, just know that this is what we mean when you say, if you go on a college website, you're going usually to find their mission statement, goals. And in this case, it's listed as goals, objectives, and strategies. And this is actually from Great Basin College in Nevada. And if you can see, this is just part of their overall strategic plan. And it talks about the student success section, where it's discussing increasing student satisfaction with experiences at the college, really enhancing the support from the student's journey, from the point of contact to when they're graduating with their credential, and then everything in between. And so it's easy to see when you start looking at these kind of details, you can more likely imagine where a Phi Theta Kappa chapter would fit in. It's true that almost any college administration would be thrilled to have scholar student leaders on their campus that were also helping the college meet their goals. And certainly with things like student success initiatives, there is definitely a place for student input and student involvement. Okay. And as I said before, there's, so many different paths that you can take. No two college projects are necessarily going to be exactly alike. There may be some common themes. We see a lot of college projects that relate to student success, to student services, working with student life to increase awareness about the resources available on campus, mentoring dual enrollment students. We've seen that certainly become way more popular in the last few years when there are so many more high school students taking college credit. But as you can see, this is just a small sample of some of the projects that were done in 2022 for their college projects. And last year we had the official rollout of a new Phi Theta Kappa resource called CCSmart. And I say Phi Theta Kappa resource, this is not necessarily about Phi Theta Kappa, but it is about community colleges and changing the conversation about how our society views community colleges as a higher education choice. And so, Patty, if this is a good time, I'll let you take it from here and share a little bit more about CCSmart.
Oh, it's a great time.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you. If it'll be at one point where I'll ask you after I get to these 2 slides, I want to show them actually the website so that they can
Okay.
to share something important.
Okay.
So yeah, CCSmart.org. That is our that's Phi Theta Kappa, right? That's the advocacy awareness program that we are involved with for tons of reasons, right? All of you are starting at a community college. Give yourself a hand. You are CCSmart, right? We're trying to remove the stigma of attending community colleges. We have we're just as good as the 4 years to start out, and we save money, right? So that's the purpose of CCSmart.org. And we encourage chapters to use this as part of their advocacy on campus. And there are times where chapters have used setting up an advocacy or reducing the stigma of community colleges in their communities as their college project. So if you want to go to thank you, Jennifer. What you see on the screen here are some examples of how you can use college project and CCSmart. So say like a community college stigma reduction campaign, an awareness campaign where, perhaps, that high school students are coming in to visit the campus to take a look at what is offered and being present and, sharing the benefits of what you've been able to do at your community college and how outstanding your community college is. Hosting college pathway info sessions for high school students, like whether it's, a workforce pathway or a transfer pathway, inviting high school students to campus to show them how they can, how you guys, as part of CCSmart, you guys showing them how effective it is for them to start at the community college by, looking and going back to the college's mission statement. Most of them use the word full access, open access, and that's really important. And if you tie that into what maybe the strategic plan is as it relates to enrollment and getting the message of your college out to the community, CCSmart is one of the better ways to utilize this campaign. Outreach to high school guidance counselors, encouraging the use of CCSmart as an advising tool, right? Sharing the CCSmart website with high school students so that they can see the data that is provided regarding the effectiveness of attending a community college, the benefits, the pathways that they can take. And of course, when you add in the opportunity to become a PTK member and all the pathways that involve for that, it's kind of like, you're giving them all at once, right? We see an increasing amount of dual enrolled students at high schools, and so they know. And so involving some of the dually enrolled students that are taking classes at the community college, using their stories as a way to, destigmatize attending, and what the benefits are for them to be able to do this is an outstanding example of how to utilize that. So Jennifer, if you could just stop sharing or is there another
Oh,
slide?
sure. Yep, that's it.
So what I wanted to do, one of the things I want to make sure that everybody knows, I'm going to share my screen. It's really important because we get questions about this a bit. CCSmart.org is not located on ptk.org, right? So what you're seeing right now, I hope you're seeing the screen, right? You're seeing that? Okay.
Yes.
Is the website. And as you can see, lots of information on here about community college 101. What is it? What pathways can you take? Getting financial help and assistance on, how to apply and getting the finances that you need. There's an info hub. There's a whole section on community college insights. That's where the data is located. And then helping students find their local community college, right? One that, has the major that a student would be interested in engaging with. And then there's the About CCSmart, and that's the most important part that I want to show you. So we would need, if you are considering using CCSmart as part of your college project, and the first question is, okay, well, we want to use the really great logo, right? The CCSmart logo, or we want to see what's some of the other marketing that's available. It's all located here and not at ptk.org. So what would happen would be you would click the About CCSmart and click the Take Action button, right? And an advisor would then go through and have your college become a CCSmart college. It only takes about 10 seconds to fill out the form, and then 15 seconds later, you get to all of the marketing materials that are related to CCSmart. And that's where you want to use the logo, get all your logos and stuff like that from. I've heard of chapters thinking about, doing ambassador programs, and perhaps they're giving out flyers that have the logo on it, or sharing their stories about CCSmart, and they may be wearing a sticker or a button, or going to community fairs and talking about the benefits of attending the local community college, and you want to hand out flyers, or you're doing a tabling event. And so all of those materials will be located behind CCSmart after you become a CCSmart college. So it just takes 10 seconds to fill this out. And some check off boxes like help change the conversation about the work of community colleges, support a student first approach by promoting student-led advocacy of community colleges, and promote reliable and robust information about the quality and, of course, the opportunities found at community colleges. And by checking off those boxes, your college will become a CCSmart college and be granted access to the toolkit. They just submit it, and then you'll have access to that. And so if you're thinking about it, using CCSmart, it's I don't want to say that it's easy. It's something that is pretty new to us, and a lot of chapters have been trying it, and there's a lot of different ways that you can go with it. And also during, we have been giving recognition on some of the best college projects that involve CCSmart, right? So this is something that we are very proud to, to advocate for, and we need your help with it. And so if you decide to do a CCSmart college project and need assistance, as always, you can reach out to us and we'll provide you those details as well.
Yes. Yes. And, Patty, I love that. Yes, absolutely. Community colleges are, certainly about saving money, but that is in no way indicative of taking a hit when it comes to the quality of their higher education. Right. And so community colleges, do have, we know a lot of guidance counselors can really steer their top students to not considering a community college. And, a lot of that is just not understanding fully what all is accomplished at community colleges. And so, the idea here about CCSmart is that we know colleges and, not only two-year colleges, but four-year colleges as well are struggling, some with enrollment. The trends are down. And so this may be an opportunity during that conversation with your college president to say, just want you to know, if they ask you for ideas, this is something that is a resource. There is not a financial commitment at all on behalf of the college to become a CCSmart college. And if the college is interested in this, again, this is, that's the path, not going in and telling them we're doing CCSmart, but making them aware and then letting them decide if that's what the focus is, for your college project. So again, if it's about the relationship, you want to keep that front and center and just have that as a conversation and let it go from there.
I'm seeing some really great ideas in here about, and definitely, I know I focus a lot on the high school students and the high school counselors, but Dee talks about focusing on, our older returning students returning to college and the benefits for that, right? And totally great ideas. And yes, definitely talk to the advisors. I'm confused. What are the benefits of becoming a CCSmart college? It gets you access to the marketing and branding materials that are there. Your college president may be interested in that, as to take on that part of being a CCSmart college, right? Being able to promote the benefits and removing the stigma of attending a community college. So that's one of the benefits of being a CCSmart college. It's just that if you choose, some chapters want to do this and they're always looking for the branding and the artwork and stuff like that, and it's not kept on ptk.org. So that's the other reason we send you there to become a CCSmart college. Access that.
Right. Right. So it's, the website is free and open to anyone. We want it to be a resource for parents, for any, guidance counselors, any student that's interested or potential student. So it's there, it's open, CCSmart.org. Again, you don't have to be a CCSmart college to, to use the website, but you do for the branded materials, as Patty said. And if you're not aware, Phi Theta Kappa, this is a very natural thing for us to be advocating so strongly for community colleges, because we are considered the official honor society of the two-year college. And so that we're formally recognized by the American Association of Community Colleges as the official honor society. So again, we're in this together, and we certainly are big proponents and love to celebrate the community college mission. All right, so I think there may have been another question before I go on. Was there another? Is there a graph of percentage of the fall of community colleges? Drew, I would say, there's certainly articles in different trade magazines and online newspapers like Inside Higher Ed. But the main thing that you would want to do is to, find your local college information, because the college project is about, meeting the needs of your college. So that would probably be a great conversation to have. It may be that your college is not facing that, but many of them are. And so, and it's also true that the demographics are changing. A lot more online students, a lot more high school dually enrolled. And that shift means that there are a lot of opportunities to, make sure that the resources of the college are meeting the needs of those particular students. So lots of opportunities there. And that's why we want you to have a conversation with your college administration, to decide what should be the focus of your project. There's so many things that a college is involved in, a lot of different programs and priorities. And so that's why you want to be taking notes and really being explicit about how your chapter arrived at a particular focus with your college administration about this year's college project. If you do want to see past examples of award-winning college projects, we have that online. We have a whole journal devoted to it. This is new. We've only had 2 editions so far, and so we look forward to adding our 3rd edition later this fall to Changemakers Journal. Okay, so a quick frequently asked question. What if your college president is not available to meet with your chapter? Well, this happens. It's not unusual, but most of the time, the majority of our chapters are able to meet with the campus CEO or president. I was talking with Indiana chapters last Friday, and they were saying that their college CEO is known as the chancellor. So it's going to look a little bit different on your college campus. But if you're not able to meet with that top executive of your campus, it's totally fine to meet with another administrator. That could be a vice president. It may be the vice president of academic affairs or student affairs. It could be a provost. It's, again, the titles may be a little bit different. But if you do want to explain that, if you're writing up your college project entry, just make a note so that it's clear, that why you didn't meet with the campus CEO. But it does not prevent you from still doing a great college project. And then another frequently asked question is this, and we get this sometimes from chapters that have maybe been doing a college project, that they are highly engaged, and the administration has been asking them to do maybe the same project year after year, and they want to take it to the next level. They want to, be more competitive for winning a Hallmark Award. And for this, all we would recommend is, first of all, the college administration may not be aware that there is an award given for the top 50 college projects internationally in Phi Theta Kappa. And so just having that conversation. And again, remember that it is okay to, maybe suggest, maybe adding on. It's not that you're taking away from the focus. Maybe there is a certain area that they really do rely heavily on the chapter to fulfill year after year, but maybe you can take it to the next level, expand it, enhance it. But again, it's all about sharing that information and giving them the context as well, about what the college project is, how it fits into Phi Theta Kappa's awards program as well. All right, we hope that helps. Okay, the last few minutes, again, we want you to continue to put any questions in the chat, so that the main purpose here is to get your questions answered. We don't want you to spend time with us this afternoon and leave with an unanswered question. So we will definitely answer those and keep an eye on the chat. But the next part, we're going to just make sure that you're aware that there is a checklist for doing a successful college project. It's known as our rubrics, and this is what the judges use to score the college project entries, but it is not just for the judges. This is really meant to be your planning checklist, as I called it, so that you can, look through these different categories. This is what we judge college projects on. But again, this was not created in a vacuum. This was really about looking at what the purpose is of a college project and how members and the college can most benefit from this process. At the end of the day, we want this to be an incredible leadership experience for Phi Theta Kappa members. We don't want you to feel like this is busy work. You are not just checking off a box. And so all of these criteria are meant to, again, give you that blueprint of what makes a great project, but also help develop some of those soft skills and realize that you have an incredible networking opportunity with some college professionals right there on your campus. And so those kind of connections are priceless. And, we won't go through every single element of this. There are 4 primary categories, as was noted here. The presentation is 5 points, and that's, based on the writing of the entry. And, I will say that sometimes students see that and think, okay, 5 points, let's not spend a lot of time there. It's not really going to matter. It actually has a big difference. It can mean the difference of you accepting an award on stage and not accepting an award on stage. And of course, one of the things about or the benefits of participating in Hallmark Awards is that you are giving those, those writing, editing, critical thinking, analyzing, data collection, all of those great skills. You're getting practice in those. And so we really do want, even though it's only 5 points, quote unquote, it's a really important part of the overall project. All right, so the planning part, we've talked through most of this. I want to just highlight on each of these one particular element that we see missing, or something that, chapters seem to maybe struggle with a little bit. And so we want you to have, the absolute best chance of submitting an award-winning entry. And so for this one, I would say that it probably is this one right here. The project directly supported the college's mission or current priorities. A lot of times chapters will not explicitly explain how the project connected to the priorities. It's assumed. So be very, very intentional about sharing what that, why this particular project, this particular focus at this moment in time was chosen and how it benefits the college. All right, leadership development. This is the next main category. All of the
Jennifer, can I stop
yes.
you for a second?
Sure. Okay.
We got a couple questions that I don't want to get by. One of the question was, what if you repeat the project? Does that stop your ability to win Hallmark Awards? And the answer to that is no, right?
Right, that is correct. It doesn't prevent you. You can repeat the project, but there is a caveat with that. We want you to go through the same process outlined in the rubrics. And so you would still have the chapter members are meeting with the college president or another administrator and talking through. So it's not just, kind of skipping over the planning part and going right to the fulfilling the leader or the project itself. You do want to have every element of the rubrics still, conducted for that project. And, again, if you're really looking at it from the standpoint, and this is going to, of course, depend on what the project's focus is, maybe you're helping with graduation, really try to think about metrics and how you are increasing your impact from year to year. That would be a great way to kind of help the next group of chapter leaders, feel more ownership of a project and to really feel like that they can make it have an additional or enhanced element because they are taking it to the next level or increasing the impact in some way. So hopefully that answers. I see one question. Do we use APA for our college project?
Yeah.
Great question, Tuesday. You do not. You're not. This is not about a bibliography like it is for our honors and action projects that are based on academic research. And so you don't have to worry about using APA style. The entry for college project, the Hallmark Award entry, you are responding to very specific questions. And so, it's, yes, you're writing it in a narrative, but it's a very specific answer to 6 questions. So you don't have to worry about using APA. Is the college project the only way I can get involved in PTK? Still unsure as I'm a new member and do school online. Oh, you are not alone. We have so many online students in Phi Theta Kappa. We even have a few chapters that operate strictly online. So you're not alone. And we do have other things. The main point here is that we have other benefits for members like PTK Edge, which are our collection of professional development courses. But I also want to just say that for the purposes of this webinar, so we don't get too far off on a tangent, know that there are still components that you can do if you are connected with chapter members that may be on campus or even online as you are. And so the main thing is to, get connected with your chapter advisor and to see if there are other students. There are chapters, this is one of the mission. This is where our 2-part mission of Phi Theta Kappa comes into play. The first part is recognizing academic excellence in college students. The second part of our mission is providing these kinds of opportunities for this professional development and growth. And that is optional. So you've got to see where the activity level is for your chapter. And if they're not doing anything, then you can be the one that can help a chapter complete and get involved in things like a college project or other projects. Chapters are totally fine with doing other types of projects, service projects, or things on campus and in the community that you have total leeway, to do other projects. If you're trying to participate in our 5-star plan, these are the projects that you'll do as part of the 5-star plan: a college project and an honors in action project. And we will be talking about honors in action at our next webinar. And Patty, I think that's August 9th. Is that right?
That's correct. It'll be August
Okay.
9th at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
Okay, great. So hopefully that, Zoe, helps a little bit, but we do want you to know that, there are so many online benefits of participating in PTK as well. So be sure to check out our website, and particularly PTK Edge and PTK Connect, okay? All right, so getting back to the leadership development rubric, one area that I want to stress here is that a lot of chapters jump right into the action. You get your marching orders from the college administration and you're like, let's roll, okay? But we want you to, just like with the Honors in Action project, where you do your some research and exploring first before you decide how you're going to act, there can be areas that you need to learn. Like if they ask you to do a series of videos promoting the college's resources, you may need to, of course, meet with the departments that oversee those college resources, learn all you can, and work in collaboration with them on what would be the best. You've got to have the specific information right to put in those videos, but you also may need to get some experience and knowledge about video editing, shooting videos and putting that together. And so both of those areas, from knowledge as well as, maybe some leadership development skills, public speaking, all of those things are areas for you to grow in. And it's not going to just impact the college project, but it's going to give you some great experience and skills to take with you in your personal life or in other Phi Theta Kappa projects. So don't skip this part about participating in leadership development activities, so that you are, really doing a good job on the college project, because you're doing this on behalf of the college. And so your relationship, your reputation is also at stake, and you want to do a good job. And so take that time. Your advisor certainly can help with that. Other faculty and staff on campus are definitely resources to get you what you need to do a good job. Okay, so the next one is, and I kind of shared this already about, the purpose of really doing projects in Phi Theta Kappa is to help grow your soft skills. These are just some of the skills that you're gaining. And know that we have things, as I mentioned, PTK Edge, that help you. So not just campus resources, but resources that you can use on PTK Edge, as well as our Leadership Development Studies course, all of that available online to you, so that you can take advantage of those, and you can certainly write about that as a way that you developed your leadership for college project. So communication on this one, I would say that probably the biggest one is this one, chapter providing a final report of the project to the appropriate administrators. That's the one that we see missing the most when it comes to the college project entries. Again, there can be that great meeting in the beginning. Maybe there's 1 or 2 follow-ups, sometimes not even that. So be sure you have a regular communication plan. But then that college project entry, because you're responding to very specific questions, think of it as an executive summary of your college project. And that can be a great thing to share with the administration. Some chapters are even able to meet with the administration at the conclusion of a project and kind of have a debriefing. And again, that really helps close the loop on the project, and it helps solidify that relationship that you are hopefully developing and continuing to strengthen. And then, okay, sorry, this is where the leadership development, where I was referring to PTK Edge and our leadership course. So I just had those backwards in the slides. But then impact. And we want you to know that, again, impact, the quantitative data, sometimes chapters miss out on some quantitative data and even qualitative data because they haven't planned ahead, or they're just not aware of their, can be data points, even in something that seems like a qualitative or something that wouldn't necessarily lend itself to thinking of it as a measurable item. Well, this is an example of ways that you can quantify your accomplishments. And this theory works great for resumes, scholarship applications, but it's also a great tip for your Hallmark Award entries. And anything that you've done, being able to give context to what that role was like on your campus. Don't assume that we know, especially the judges reading college project entries, that they know what your college is like. They may not know the setting, the number of students, the number of programs that are offered at your college. So give as much context as you can so that they can understand and appreciate the impact that you had. If you're at a big urban campus, that can look very different and have a different set of numbers that wouldn't necessarily be as impressive at a large campus versus a rural campus that's much, much smaller. So think about that when you are, doing your tracking of the impact. And then this is an example, and I'm going to kind of rush through this because we're getting close to the end. But we want you to include pictures. We're not grading you on pictures, but you do have the option to upload up to 3 pictures. And we love to get chapter photos that kind of illustrate what they did for their projects. And this is an example of a chapter that worked with students with some special needs, and they had a culinary arts program. And they included a picture that really highlighted where one of the administrators who saw the picture and said, I can't tell which students are from the special needs program and which ones are Phi Theta Kappa members. And that is the point, that, they were lifting up and really, helping every student meet their potential. And so this was the picture that they shared in their entry. So we want you, again, I've already talked about presentation, so I don't have to go over that. We can share this. We will also post not only the video recording of this webinar, but we post the PowerPoint. And so you can go back through these and look more closely at them. This is a sample timeline that just gives you, for those chapters that are working, that haven't done anything with their college project yet. A tip moving forward is that you could divide up the calendar year by doing a college project in the spring and then spend summer and fall working on an honors in action project. But many, many chapters do their projects simultaneously, so don't sweat it. If you are in the situation where you have not started either project, know that it is still very much doable, and you can still have an incredible impact, make a difference on your campus with both of these projects, and end up with 5 stars at the end of December. So with that, are there any other questions? Penny,
Yeah, there was a question. I'll turn
Okay.
my video back on.
Okay.
There's no changes between last year's rubric and this year's rubric.
That is correct. And we do have, if you go to ptk.org/hallmarks, we are updating, all the files there that show the entry questions and judging rubrics. But we did not have any changes. The only thing that's going to be updated that you'll see is the new deadline. And all those deadlines are at ptk.org/hallmarks. The college project deadline, which is the same for both college project and honors in action, is January 17th. So we always say, backdate that at least a week. That way you're not scrambling to get your entry in, because you're not just uploading a document, you're actually going to copy and paste your answers. We don't recommend going in and just typing everything online in the actual application. It'll be much easier if you polish it in a Word document and then go in and copy and paste. And so that takes a little time. You want to double check it, make sure you don't leave anything out. And so that's why we recommend, working at least a week ahead. Okay, Miguel asked, how early should a chapter begin their college project to ensure it's completed and submitted by the due date? Okay, that's great, Miguel. So good to see you here. It is probably, now is a great time, but definitely I would say you want to have the meeting with your administration no later than early September. When you start looking at the fall term, September and October are your prime time to really implement the project, kind of wrap it up in November, because after Thanksgiving, you come back to finals and then winter break. And so you want to, work ahead, get your project done, and then have some time to start writing before you go on winter break. And then hopefully you'll be able to, not have to spend the entire holidays, working on your entry. And we have chapters that do finish completely before they leave for winter break. But again, the deadline for entering is January 17th. So we give you some time. It's not due the 1st of January, even though you have until December 31st to officially complete the college project.
I have another question from Shemaya. She asked, do we have to keep records of the meetings with administration and put it with the entry?
Okay, that's a good question. We see that as the individuals are keeping notes and, having that in their own personal entry. You can do that online or, in old school pen and paper. But you're not submitting that, you're using it to write answers to those entry questions. And so you want as many details as possible. So, take those careful notes, have more than one person taking notes so that you have things to compare later on. It's amazing how, we each have a different perspective. And so you can have a detail that somebody else didn't have. And that can really help you, when you're writing the entry. So yes, definitely keep notes, but know that you don't have to have a formal process of uploading your notes or records. Oh, good, Wendy. You meet with your president Friday. That's awesome. Hey, Patty, did we miss anybody else?
Well, one just came across on.
Okay.
No, thanks for pronouncing my name right. Oh, you're welcome, Shmi. I'm glad I got it right. I was stabbing in the dark, but thank you so much. We try and get that right. So thanks for the question. It was a really great question. Jennifer, I just want to redo two things. So if I could share the screen again.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. The first thing, and please, if you still have questions, send them in the chat, but I'm going to go over how you will find the recording for this particular event. Give us at least 24 hours. We have to process it through Zoom and get it uploaded. So give me till at least tomorrow to be able to get to it. But you will go to, log in and go to, the easiest way is go to professional development courses. Make sure you're logged in. Scroll down, access PTK Edge. It may ask you to enroll. If you've never enrolled in it before, it just may ask you to enroll in it. It's just a simple, one-sided thing, and then you'll have access. And then mine looks a little different than yours because I have a couple extra things that aren't in the general public, but this is what it would look like. And we just want you to scroll down to this section, Phi Theta Kappa Program Resources. This is open to advisors, officers, and members. All three constituent levels have access to this. You'll scroll down, and I will put this particular one, probably because it's a combination of several things, create a new section right under here. And it'll be 2023 college project, 5-star and all that. And that's where we will put it. You'll be able to then, click on the particular thing, and that's where the video will be on YouTube, and then you'll be able to access the PowerPoint. So that's that. The other thing they wanted to show you again was we got a request for CCSmart. So you go to ccsmart.org. And this is all of the information that you can find and share. There's transfer resources, workforce resources, financial assistance, the info hub. There's a blog that we produce, insights on community colleges, how to find a community college in the area, and then go down to, if you are interested in becoming a CCSmart college and accessing the marketing and the branding that's behind it, you can either go right to take action, right? When you go to take action, an advisor will just read this and then complete this form and make sure that they click submit. And then you will have access to all of the marketing and the communications that goes along with it. So those are the two things I just wanted to show. Again, I'm gonna stop sharing. I think there was another, was there another question? No?
Well,
Ah,
yours had advocacy edge on it, so.
you weren't supposed to see that. It's in the works. It's in the works. It's in the works, along with a couple of others. So good eye, Shamir, good eye. Definitely a good eye. So that's why sometimes I don't like to open that, because I forget that mine looks a little different than everybody else's. But yeah, we want you to make sure that you can find this so that you can share this tomorrow with your chapter. Have a meeting, review it, talk about college projects, CCSmart and 5-star with your chapter at your next meeting. Bring members into it, bring, potential members, anybody that wants to hear this. Thank you, Michelle. Any other questions that you have about anything you heard today? I want to shout out to our international officers for being present today and helping me in the chat. Without them, oh my gosh, it was busy in the chat today. Letitia, Luis, and everybody, and Miguel, our former international officer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. I hope I didn't miss anybody. All right.
We are so happy that y'all have joined us. Thank you so much. We know we kept you a little bit late, and I don't think we lost anybody, so that really is high praise. So thank you so much for being here. And again, August 9th, right, Patty? Honors in Action. Those are the two big projects, and we want everybody participating in these webinars to meet the 5 stars, because it is absolutely possible. And so that's why we do these webinars, is to show you the path of how to be a 5-star chapter, so that you can be recognized on your campus, in your region, and internationally as a 5-star chapter. So that's, again, that's why we're doing these. That's why all the resources are there on our website. And you're going to get, the advisors will receive a mailing, an actual postal mailing in August that has a 5-star poster that you can put in your chapter meeting space. And so we hope that keeps that enthusiasm and momentum up, so that you can check off what you're doing on your way to being 5-star chapters.
I'm going to give you all a little hint. We'll be using the same Zoom link on August 9. So if you're around on August 9 at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time, we'll be using the same link. So this way you don't have to worry about getting it. For those of you that are here, I did answer this question earlier. For the complete list of sessions that are happening, please check in with your advisors. We have them posted on the advisor calendar, and they can share that information with you as well. Or always feel free to email anyone in the student engagement team, and we'll be able to help you with that as well. Thanks for coming. Thanks to the student engagement team. Awesome job, and everybody. Thank you. What time on the 9th? 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So 4 in the East, noon in Pacific Coast, and Mountain Time. I don't know what time it'll be in the Mountain Time. 2 hours yet, right? What time will it be, Aslana, in Mountain Time?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. There we go.
It's Arizona time, because they're not on daylight. Yeah, it's Arizona time.
Arizona time. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Letitia, I cannot hear you.